everybody, and welcome to another episode of Haunt Behind the Scare. In today's episode, we are going to be going to our 2022 Haunt of the Year, which is Ghoul Brothers in Akron, Ohio. Although I think technically it's not Akron, but it is.
It's close. It's Akron adjacent.
Yeah.
It's like near Akron.
Right. But yeah, this is a place that we're also super excited and privileged to go to because typically they do not allow filming of any sort. And again, just like all the other videos you're going to see in this series, this is a behind-the-scenes look, meaning that the lights are going to be on for the most part. You're not going to get to see actors. It's all about kind of getting to see the scenes and the artistry that go into it. And this one, I think, what we've just seen through filming all of these different episodes of this at this point is that each one kind of has its own flair.
Yes.
And I think, the big thing with this one is that the actors are really kind of like a tight-knit group family.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so very awesome people. I really hope you enjoy the episode. But yes, we'll see you at the end. But for now, enjoy this episode of Haunt
Behind
the
Scare.
Here we are in the first hallway of Ghoul Brothers. So basically this is what you will see when you first enter the place. It's not really necessarily the haunt proper, but as soon as you get done with the queue, you will just walk down here. And there's usually like a projection type of thing, they said, that goes on up there. This thing's pretty cool.
That is cool.
There's a lot of like cool and altered props here. I like the mechanical, like kind of like melting with the flesh kind of situation, whatever's going on with him. Oh, and the door like has a bunch of like Egyptian hieroglyphics, which Matt talks about in a video, and part of it you'll see later about like the kind of like the story of the actual haunt as well, which is like an Egyptian room. Something that me and Kim's never noticed many times we've been here, we've been through this one a lot, is there's a prop up there. There's a guy up there. Never noticed him up there. What was the... Oh yeah, these usually have running water, don't they?
Yeah.
But this was something that Kim really liked, this sign.
Yeah, again, something I never noticed before. But yeah.
Escape
It's human pig hybrids.
Let's make sure, you call that extension. Another one of those like gnarly... Ew, wow, this one's really gross. There's his jaw just kind of like on his chest. And as we're walking through, we're going to be inserting footage of Matt and some other actors and whatnot from the haunt as well to kind of tell some stories.
Hey guys, welcome to Ghoul Brothers. My name's Matt. I help run this place for the owner, Dave Barton, who helped create this beautiful haunt you see here. My haunt character is Hugs the Clown. I'm sure if you've been here, you've seen me 100 times, giving out the free hugs. One of the first things you run into when you come to this haunt is our little pet pig, Reuben, here. If you've been through the haunt, most likely you've had your lips on him because, you got to kiss this pig before you go past him. Some celebrities have even had their lips on here. Tom Holland, who's played Spider-Man, has went through this haunt after they filmed Cherry up in Cleveland. He was scared to go through the haunt. I held his hand as we went through. Said, "Come on, Spider-Man, we'll have our hands together." And he got here and wouldn't go any further until he kissed this guy. So, you come through here, go ahead and kiss the pig.
All right, so I am Devin. I am now newly appointed Zone 2 supervisor, leader, whatever you want to call it. But this room has the most significance to me because... let's just say it's hard to work. It takes a special person, I guess, to work this scene. Customers walk in, they see you. You're the first thing they see besides the big cows that are hanging and the strobe lights going. So they know where the scare is coming from, okay? And pretty much the main thing is you just make the loudest noise you can. And you get right in their face. The strobe light helps you out a lot, but apparently that's hard for a lot of people to do, and I found an easy way to do it, I guess. And that's about it. Kill floor is kill floor. Let's just say that. So
How long have you been working haunts?
I've been working at haunts for 8-9 years. I started at the schoolhouse and lab as I was a wee little kid, and met Matt and met a lot of people that work here, and they were like, hey, we got another haunt up in Portage Lakes area. Why don't you come help us out? I came up here and been here for what, 3-4 years now?
Yeah, I think
3-4 years.
Yeah.
And I don't think I'm going anywhere else.
What makes you want to keep doing it?
Makes me want to keep doing it. Oh man, I got kids, and I really want to see the haunt industry grow as the next generation comes up. So I want my kids to get involved in it, and I just want, haunt's my thing, I guess. Let's just say that.
Oh yes,
Once you catch it, you catch the bug, you either got it or you don't. I'm one of the ones that got it. So
Devin's the guy that will text me 2 days after the season's over, asking me, what's the schedule like for next year?
You're right. And he tells me, screw you, bud, we're not talking about it yet.
Give me a couple days to recharge myself before we even talk about the haunt season for next year.
2 days later, I'm like, hey, you ready yet?
Yeah. He is ready to go as soon as the season's over.
My haunt season starts November 3rd. And that's the day after we close.
Yep.
So
that's Devin. So as you walk into our barn scene, you smell the wood, because all of this wood is straight from Dave's childhood and from the old Hartville where Dave grew up in. That's where he started out living, and he grew his love of haunted houses and the horror. So Dave grew up making the old films, him and his friends, with horror movies and stuff like that growing up. And he grew up deciding, hey, I want to move out to Hollywood and make films as he grew up. So he moved out to Hollywood and started working on movies like Starship Troopers, Power Rangers, Subspecies, and all that. But all the time he's like, I want to come back to Akron and open up a haunted house. So after living out in in Hollywood for 15 years or so, he moved back here to Akron and started working on Ghoul Brothers. Put some blood, sweat, tears in this place for 12, 15 years. Wanted to make sure it was perfect before he opened the haunt. Then he opened it, and we've been open now for, this will be our 7th year. It would have been 8. We didn't open for COVID, the year that COVID happened. So it's our 7th year now going strong, and we've already became the highest rated on Google and Facebook.
It's kind of let you look into like the other scene here. And yeah, he talked about how like all of this wood was from where the owner grew up, I believe he said.
Yeah.
Yeah, it definitely smells like that wood in here. They have a lot of these like kind of like puppet gags, which are really awesome, and they'll come out and get you. This is one of my favorite scenes. It's like the barn scene. And he was telling us this is actually, they can't remember the exact movie it's from, but this that's hanging from the ceiling, it's actually like rubber, and it is from a movie. There's a lot of like movie props in here, a lot of which you'll hear about. And this guy's just wearing a glow stick around his neck.
Hello, I'm David Barton. I'm the owner and creator of Ghoul Brothers. I've always been interested in monsters. Ohio's had a lot of different late night horror host type stuff, and we're very lucky in that way. I grew up with Big Chuck and Little John, and before that Big Chuck or Houlihan and Big Chuck, and I just always sort of related to monsters and monster magazines and famous monsters for whatever reason that happened. So I always had that in the background. Probably around the age of 12, I visited Disney World and went through the Disney Haunted Mansion, which was probably seeing those level of animatronics and those level of scene designs and things like that is what really got me interested in haunted houses and amusement parks and things like that. At some point, from following monster magazines and things, I ended up becoming interested in makeup effects and making movies, and I started making amateur movies at the age of 12 and continued that for a while, and along that path also started doing makeup effects, which is what became my profession. So I just kind of always loved monsters, and always in my back burner as something that I would have liked to have done was to open a haunted house. I also visited the haunted schoolhouse and haunted laboratory as a kid, and I really enjoyed that. Liked dark rides and things along that line, so it just sort of was a natural progression to want to do this, and when I moved back from Los Angeles, I wanted to find something that I could do on a day-to-day basis to use the skills that I had and all the different things, and a haunted house was a perfect fit for that.
What made you decide to open up in Akron, Ohio?
Well, having grown up in Akron, I don't live in Akron currently, but I looked at a couple of different areas, and technically we're not in Akron. We're in the Akron zip code, but we're in what would technically be called Summit County. Akron was very problematic because of the schoolhouse and laboratory. I had, which most haunts don't, but I had engaged an architect, and we were actively looking around for different places to set up a haunted house, and Akron basically told us, if you come to Akron, we'll nickel and dime you to where it's not worth your while to even open a haunted house. So this was the next best area that we found, was in the area that we're at right now, which is called Portage Lakes or Coventry, and we're a suburb of Akron, but not actually Akron.
As you come to our green room, you look down here, and this is from Jurassic Park 3. It was actually in the film as one of the raptor incubators. We actually have the eggs as well that we keep in our back room, the shells that the raptors actually cracked and came out of the little babies. We love it that, you know, we have scenes, movie props from other scenes like Resident Evil. We have Hunger Games. We have Vampire Diaries, Pacific Rim. All this is connected to the fact that Dave does have those connections in Hollywood and all that. It's a little different than other haunts, you know, and if you don't know it when you're walking through, you don't know. But it's a little thing that, hey, if you do know, it's just a little cool little extra, you know, hidden secret and a little Easter egg.
As you pass through here, there's another one of those like grabby plant monsters. This one always kind of gets me. Because it's just like, as soon as you come through like the scrim there, it comes out and gets you. It's crazy how much different these places look with the lights on. It's a very different vibe. Ugh. This guy's some kind of like weird looking, like triple pick dude, I don't know. All this like old lab equipment. I wonder what that thing is. That thing looks like, I mean, it definitely was something. What is that?
Yeah, I don't know.
And then here is like, I think this is what, the autopsy room? Yes.
Yeah.
So this is one of the bigger rooms here, because again, this place is more focused on like smaller claustrophobic rooms with lots of jump scares. And there's usually, of course, an actor in here wreaking havoc. One cool thing that I don't have him saying on camera is this is a prop from the Resident Evil 4 movie. So that's really cool that they have that, because again, the owner has a Hollywood background. So a lot of like random movie props and stuff like that in here. And this thing is pretty gross and gnarly. This thing reminds me of, I can't remember what movie it is it makes me think of, but it reminds me of something from a movie.
Creep Show.
Creep Show. Yes, that thing reminds me of Creep Show.
I knew it had creep in it.
I'm cutting most of that out, but it took me and Kim way too long to think of that. Ew, look at this thing. Let me turn the light off so you can see it. It's like a weird, like, alien baby thing. Creepy.
Wow.
Wash hands to avoid mutagen transfers.
Oh no.
Turn the light back on. Again, just like some stuff up on shelves, stuff you'd never see, but there's just this baby that's, I don't know. Oh, that one's creepy. There's like, I don't know what's going on with it, but some mechanical stuff going into its head. And there we come back to Mutant Baby. And this room's always nerve-wracking because you never know there's going to be someone, but there's always someone that's going to startle you. That's one thing I'll say with a walkthrough of this place. Even if it was a lights-off tour with the actors, it wouldn't ruin any scare because you could come through here 3 times in a row and the scares are different every single time.
Yeah.
And then there's this. I really like this guy. He's really just, I don't know, cleanly made. Lots of detail in this prop. Really cool. Like alien thing. Pile of goop.
Well, one of the biggest things I think here is that our motivation is to scare people, to give people a good time. And you'll hear that a lot, but really with a lot of people, in my opinion, there's a lot of egos that work in this stuff. And a lot of people, I believe, are more in it to, stroke their own ego. It's the best thing they're going to get compared to like being in Hollywood or something like that. And we are very egocentric here at Ghoul Brothers. You know, I don't put myself on a pedestal. You know, I'm interested in other people's opinions. I work in the haunted house pretty much every night, making sure, you know, I do my little part to make it fun and entertaining. And so I think it kind of starts at the top with that, and that sort of translates through that people enjoy what they're doing. They enjoy having fun. They've got the freedom. They've got the range to do, you know, to do what they want to do. It's not just me laying down, hey, you come here, you jump out here, you do this, you say that. You know, they've got the latitude to kind of do what they want. So most of the sets here, pretty much everything was built by myself. There are people that came in and helped different things. Obviously, I can't do everything. But the majority, the set design, the set construction, where most props go, is me. So versus a lot of haunted houses where the owner isn't really involved in building stuff. There's not a wall here that I haven't built or been part of that building or whatever. But obviously it takes a big crew to get all these walls, but I had a lot of time to do it. So everything that here is basically from one author, which is myself. So you know, however my brain works, people got different opinions on that, you know, on the problems that I might have with my brain or whatever. But basically what you see here is what's inside my head, laid out, and it's a singular vision and a singular author. I mean, I'm open to other people, I'm open to other things, but just the necessity of economics and so forth, it pretty much comes down to me at that level, which is not to brag. There's lots more I'd like to do, but that's part of it. And I think also just the number of actors that we have, the quality of actors that we're able to get by having latitude. And you know, we try to be, I mean, every haunt says they want to be like a family, but we really try to do that, and we try to take other people's concerns and things in their life in consideration. And I want to make it fun, because I've worked in those haunted houses where it's not fun, and you know, where things aren't the way you'd like, and it's not enjoyable. So we really want to make it fun for everybody. We want everybody to have a good time. We want our actors to have a good time, do a good job, of course, but you know, we want them to have a good time. We want our customers to have a good time, and I think that somehow overall carries through to the haunted house, even though we don't have the marketing budgets other haunts have, but we're definitely, you know, the heart that we put into it, I think, is what shows and what people notice. I would compare it, if we got time to say this, you know, it's like working in a restaurant. People who make food, and it's kind of a joke I make, but people make food, and some people, they make food they don't like. I see it in restaurants, and I think the love or the hate or the distaste or whatever, I think that flavors things. And I think my love for monsters, my love for putting on a good show, and the people that are with me that also share that, I think comes through.
Videos, you've seen our friend Isaac get jump scared by this thing. I mean, I get jump scared by it as well, but not on camera. I haven't been jump scared by it yet. All right, and here we come into one of the new rooms. I think it was a new addition for last year. It's kind of like a fisherman's wharf kind of thing. So there's a lot of these like fish people, and I think that was kind of what was alluding to maybe in the barrel. It kind of leads to that.
Yeah.
But yeah, you can see there's I don't know, I mean, frog, fish thing kind of theme. There's usually someone that sits here that I think trying to get you to eat some chum or worms, or I think it kind of changes up.
There's worms right here.
Oh yeah.
Look like they've been chewed on.
Worms and little buggies.
Yeah.
And one of these freaks. You really kind of get to notice that you're like in a wharf kind of situation with like all like the nautical type stuff, like the ropes. Have this. And you have this big puppet guy that's going to come out and get you. At the end here, you even have, this is like, I don't know, like maybe like the little market. Oh, I guess, okay, yeah. It's the Chum Shack. Fishing poles there. Some like old empty, like those candy vendors you would find like in a mall. Which is to get the banana runts. But they have like all this branded stuff, the yummy bio meats, which he was telling us that there's actually a song that plays. We never really noticed it because we're so busy getting scared. I guess there's like a theme that they've made for this bio meats thing, which is pretty neat. You see more of those cans and stuff. A little cash register.
How you doing? My name is Aaron Swan. I'm now currently working at Ghoul Brothers. I've been in the haunt industry about, I'd say, 13 years. This will be my Actually, this will be my 13th year. I started out at the Schoolhouse Laboratory under Don and Cindy, and since then it's changed hands. But then, you know, I came here, and one of the characters that roams around outside, I usually wear a jumpsuit, and I have like a zombie type face, and I'll get in your face and I'll talk to you, and, you know, try to interact as much as I can with, you know, the audience.
Because obviously, especially in Ohio, there's
Sure.
a ton of haunted houses.
Yeah.
And I know in my head what it does. Well, what in your head makes Ghoul Brothers unique amongst other haunts that are in Ohio?
Easy. It engulfs the old school. It keeps that old school haunt
Vibe.
alive.
Yeah.
A lot of the haunts now are more bought haunts. This is more made type stuff.
Yeah.
You know, more of creation, not just a
That-
bought show.
Yeah, that's it. That has a lot to do with Dave. Dave's mind, that experience he has from his FX shop in Hollywood and all that. A lot of this stuff is stuff that he's thought of doing instead of going to Spirit Halloween or going to Trans World and buying whatever's the newest thing on the sales floor. Dave says, I can do that, what they've done, but I can do it 10 times better.
Right.
And you come here and you see Hollywood produced scenes. And that to me is one of the best things. And the other thing is that, yeah, we have props, but for every prop we have 5 actors.
Right.
Where you go to a lot of haunts now and they're relying more on props than actors. And that's nothing against them. I know the workforce now is hard to get actors. It's hard to get people to want to work.
Right.
But somehow we just have a dedicated family that comes back every year. People like Aaron. Aaron is a great worker, but he's also a good friend of my whole family.
Sure.
And we consider all people here to work here, we're a family. Dave and Michelle, his wife, they consider all of us family. And, you know, we talk to each other throughout the whole season. It's not just an October thing.
Right.
Yeah. And something else that is, since you touched on it, I want to touch on it real quick. About the amount of actors. It's not even so much that you guys have a lot of actors, which you do, but it's how this place is designed, I feel, is very unique behind the scenes type of thing, where one actor can get you at the first scene and the last.
Absolutely. Yeah, you haven't even seen it yet, but we have a very unique design. I don't really want to say so much about it, but yes, it's a very secret where we can have 8, 9 call loss, and I freak out because I got to deal with the call loss. But at the end of the night, it still works out because an actor can do multiple things.
Sure.
You know, Aaron's
Absolutely.
done it himself. He's like, "Don't worry, I got this," and he's boom, 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 and it's like you can see him, and you're like, "Wait, didn't I see that guy like 10 minutes ago?"
Right.
You know, so yeah, it absolutely works out kind of good that way.
Yeah, absolutely. This is a really simple room, but it's just kind of, I like it. I like its aesthetics. All of just these like hand-painted symbols and whatnot. I guess it was just a person, he said, someone working on like an art degree, I think he said, that came in.
Yeah, and they just started putting all these symbols up, and hopefully they haven't conjured anything with it.
Yeah, people were asking, I guess, what the symbols mean, and it's kind of one of those things where it's like, I don't know, something. Now, this is my favorite room. Now, you're not going to get to see it in its full glory on this because usually there's a lot of blank space here that's filled up with real pumpkins. Obviously, the real pumpkins can't stay there year-round or they would rot and get gross. It's like, as you see, like these empty shelves, all these empty spots are where the real pumpkins go. There's usually real pumpkins all over there and in those gaps. Excuse you? None of that. No. Okay. Now, and then there's another shelf that has a ton more here. This scene is definitely one of my favorite, but I also just love like old school Halloween stuff. So like jack-o'-lanterns and stuff like that are just kind of like one of my favorite aesthetics.
So as you come into this new scene from last year, you'll notice this door, and you'll see some of the doors similar to this one throughout the haunt. These are actually from the Hunger Games. I think it's from the second one, which, don't ask me which film is which. But you will see these throughout all the haunt. I think there's like 3 of them in the haunt, if I remember correctly. But yeah, they're all throughout the new scene with, if you look around, the mutants here collect all type of stuff. So be careful, they might come to your house and take some of your shoes, TV, car parts, or maybe part of your body. Have fun. So this is my favorite scene. Reason behind that is I've been in the haunt industry, little history on my part. I've been in the haunt industry myself, 20-something years working, probably 25 years. I got started because my dad worked at the Hunt School Austin Lab for 35 years. He started when he was 16. So I started when I was 16 at the Hunt School Austin Lab. When Don and Cindy, who were like second group of parents to my dad, sold the place, Don passed away, and Cindy sold it. He retired, and I thought I was going to retire. Dave Barton, who runs this place, as we said, got a hold of me, said, come check out this place. Checked it out, fell in love with it, and went home. My wife's like, what do you think? And I'm like, I think I want to go work with Dave. So I came in and worked 1 year. The next year, my wife and my 15-year-old son decided they wanted to work. So they came in and worked. Now my 16-year-old daughter is working here too. And if you see any of our TikToks, my little 8-year-old daughter is on TikToks. This is my favorite scene because my son and my daughter has painted every single one of these crosses that you see on this wall, on these curtains. They spent 3 days on the floor, the ceiling, the walls, everywhere. They painted all these scenes. It makes me just happy knowing that my kids have done a little part in this haunt, and everything like that. Like I said before with the Aaron, it's more than just a haunt actors and all that. We really are a family in this haunt. Just with Dave and Michelle has made everyone feel very welcome here, and that's one of the best things. We have actors from all different haunts that have worked at them, and they've came here and said for one reason or another they didn't want to work at those haunts anymore, but they feel very welcomed here, and that's a lot to do with Dave, Michelle, and they say me too, but I don't believe that. It's mainly them.
There's like a fun little bedroom scene. There's usually someone like chained up there, just flailing about, being upset. I like all these like denture molds they have. That's kind of gross.
Do you think they went to that place in Oberlin and got a bag of teeth? Like I did?
Yeah, there's this little shop that just sells bags of teeth that we went to when we were doing a ghost hunt. You can see all of these like air fresheners because I think like the person in the bed is like supposed to be like disgusting and like smelling or something. Yeah. Like creepy wall art.
Hi, I'm Brady. I'm Matt's son and the zone leader for Zone 1. This is the queue line, a very important scene for... What?
Very important.
It's very important for me because I've damaged myself horribly here.
Still.
Yeah, it's still pretty bad. But, it's fine. It's fine.
Yeah. So one night I'm outside, checking on people outside, and I get a call on the walkie that I needed to get back here as quickly as possible because my son, who I've never actually seen cry, because, look at him, he's taller than me, built like a fucking mini Thor, and he's on the couch crying. We got to rush him to the hospital because he decided to climb up on that little thick of a railing and jump down and scare a customer. Well, how did that go?
Not good. Had to get brought to the hospital halfway through the night.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
that was fun.
Yeah. You left poor Levi running the zone by himself.
Levi had it under control.
Yeah.
I trust him enough, I guess.
Yeah. Luckily, I have good zone leaders and stuff. So.
Yeah.
But yeah, he crawled on the floor to the couch, and then so. Luckily, I have great people here that know how to do first aid, stuff like that, know how to check on each other, and now my son has a cool limp for the rest of his life. Great job.
Those haunt scars. I mean, the most important question is though, did you scare him?
No.
Oh well.
No, because they were friends of mine from high school. So
Yeah.
Yeah, no, they were friends of mine.
So it wasn't even worth it.
It was not worth it.
He was just trying to impress his friends.
Yeah. I can walk on these, sure. Yeah.
Yeah.
This guy's really cool and creepy. Not 100% sure what his backstory is, but I don't know if he's like an animatronic or if they just kind of built him to look this way. But it's just really like you can see like this one has like the arm that's on there, but then this one's completely barren of it. Something about like disabled animatronics is insanely creepy. Well, they said like the theme of these rooms back here is kind of like like in the backstages of like a SeaWorld or something like that.
Yeah.
It's kind of like the theme of that, and there's that thing which will come flailing up at you and stuff like that. And a dinosaur. And here we have a little Christmas room. So Ghoul Brothers doesn't stick to one specific theme. That's kind of what they mentioned about it being an old school haunt. It just goes kind of back and forth between a lot of themes, which I like both. I like this because it just gives you a ton of variety. I like ones that stick to specific themes and then ones that do stuff like this where it's like just lots of variety and like every room is like something new to kind of take in and you don't know what's coming next. There's just this creepy clown hanging from the ceiling. I think he's holding... Oh, no, he's holding his own intestines. Yep, that's what's going on. Got it. This, like, if it was dusted, really nice piano. But you're in a haunted house.
Oh, no key.
What?
No strings.
This is the Egyptian room.
So in this scene is kind of the story of Ghoul Brothers. The story of Ghoul Brothers is there are two brothers that travel around the world and they collect different oddities around the world. Things like a sarcophagus, the mummified cat, a head in a jar. They just collect the different things and they put them in here as their trophies. So you come in here, you can see the different things. So as you come through Ghoul Brothers, be careful because they're always looking for their next trophy. So they might just chop your head off and put it in one of the jars.
Love this picture with like this 3D coming out of Cthulhu. This was really cool. I noticed this when we were doing the walk around. I'm like, definitely want to film that. It's just kind of cool. The eyes are like, I don't know.
Yeah, they're very unnerving. They like kind of look like they're like, are like dilating or something. It's weird.
Oh, there's just like a little mummy baby thing hanging from the door here.
Well, I'm Levi. I'm just a wild, crazy guy around here. I literally got started because of my looks. Can't tell, but...
Where were you found at?
So,
Where?
I started working a haunt because me and Matt were at a gay pride parade, and we were just moseying along. He said, "You look like you'd work in a haunt. That'd be a good time." Ever since, I've just come to help out and been here for what, 5-6 years, something like that.
5 years now.
It's been a long time. Started out in chainsaw room, just doing my thing. Apparently I was good enough. He promoted me next year to the zone leader, so then I got to be in charge of people. It's been a privilege. It's been fun. Been a lot of ups and downs, but yes. So we're in, what is this, the picture hall?
Picture hall.
And this is one of my favorite zones because you can help the person in the other room because they're just a distraction from you, and you end up popping out of them through this corner of the closet, but then you can hide back in the closet, come back through, get them here with this door. You end up going around the door.
Oh, come on.
Oh, and then you end up over here in this picture. But then after that, you got another 2 scares. You can sit here and slam on a door.
No wonder it's your favorite.
Get them over here as they're coming through this
So that's
hallway.
what, 5 scare points for it? Just, wow.
And then we got another little one. You can reach out and get him one more time. So, not like 5-6 scares.
Yeah.
And if you can work with a teammate, he can end up following him through creepily and get him a couple more times. Get him come back at you. Get him again. Try and get him as many times as we can.
One of my favorite scenes is this attic scene. So you do have to walk up a couple of stairs. It's the only room in the haunt that's not handicap accessible, but there is a bypass for it, which makes this place one of the few haunts that's 100% handicap accessible. Someone could get through. And there's usually like a little creepy girl in this room. It doesn't really try. It's one of the few times you don't really get jump scared. She just kind of stands here and just is creepy. But of course, you're still going to get jump scared by other people. But and then you have another one of your monster puppet things that'll reach out and get you. You know, teeth on this guy. Oh my lord. What do you like about like running the haunt more, being in the haunt more? Do you like the designing and managing aspect more, or do you just enjoy actually being like the actor and just scaring people more?
I enjoy designing and building more, sort of those things the most. I mean, the acting is kind of more out of necessity most of the time, you know, and also just trying to build the brand. You know, if one thing sticks out to somebody, you know, it's like that weird guy that did this or that or whatever, and just my best effort. But you know, I enjoy all of it when things are working well. It's good, but we've got to slow down a little bit over the last few years. Normally, right before we open, I'm like running around for a couple hours ahead of time, fixing last minute things, or you know, we're usually at such a point to where I'm still building stuff as the season's kind of progressing. I'm adding things or building things or whatever, you know, till the last night, just trying to have things be as good as possible. So, you know, sometimes you see things that aren't quite working. It's like you have some lighting, you're like, oh, that didn't quite work, whatever. So that last year, probably the year before. Last year we added about 5, what I would consider 5 scenes, which was a lot of work, and was kind of going right to the end. But they got done on pretty much on time, and I was still finessing a little bit here and there, but it wasn't as crazy as it normally is. So that was good. But I enjoy all of it.
And that leads me to my next question, actually, as well as, so what inspires you when it comes to making a new scene? Just like designing different scenes and all. How do you get that inspiration, those ideas?
So for me, kind of from the beginning, it's kind of worked out this way because we don't have unending money, as some haunts seem to have. We don't have that, so we never did. We were always on a pretty tight budget on stuff, and we still are. So kind of the progression of how, I'll have ideas of scenes like, okay, I think I want to do this, but then it comes down to, do you have the props you need for that? It comes down to, what do you have on hand? What do we got back in the storage area? What can be repurposed for something else? What can I find? Or what? It's I was thinking here because I figured you might ask a question like that. And there was an author named Chuck Palahniuk who wrote Fight Club, and his sort of style of writing is he collects little like newspaper clippings that catches attention, just all kinds of different things. And then eventually, it's like the news clippings kind of organically start to group themselves, to where like ideas start to go to here and go together here, and ideas go together here, and they start sort of becoming like vignettes or something. So that's kind of what it is here. I kind of will. When we first opened, I had definite scenes like the barn. I knew I was doing that. The attic, I knew I was doing that because there's such a big construction and such a big project. So most of that stuff was known, but some of them just kind of organically evolved. So for me, mostly it's looking at what we have, what we can get. What's going to best fit in the scene. I always try to have a little eye candy in the scene, then scrounging around trying to find what you can have to complete the scene, to an acceptable level. And that's kind of where we've been at for the last couple of years. And there's things that the props and the haunted house junk that we have, some of it we collected 20 years ago when we first started this project, and it's interesting just because, like, oh, hey, this will fit here now. So it's kind of nice, and some things almost seemed, like destiny. Like, oh, we had this thing, and now it's absolutely perfect for this other scene. It just fits great for this or whatever. So that's pretty much how we progress. If I had unlimited money, it would be, a little bit different story. You can plan it out more. I can get this, I can get that, But we're on a pretty tight budget here, so it's what sort of organically happens from, out of necessity is how we work.
What's your favorite and least favorite thing about the haunt industry?
The favorite aspect of it, I love the creativity. That's the biggest thing for me, is just being creative and having that creative outlet in every direction. So I didn't do all these jobs in the film industry, but I did some like creative costuming, I did prop building, I did animatronics and makeups and all that stuff. So for me, this just sort of incorporates all of it, and I love that aspect, and that's what drew me to it. Just something active. Basically, you're doing the same things over and over. You're building walls, you're painting walls, you're doing this, but it's different. It's a different scene, a different setting. So I love the creativity. The thing that I don't like, I feel like it's more in Ohio than other states, probably because there's so much competition. But I just don't like the scorched earth attitude of many other haunts. The people that aren't happy to. People go out of their way to cause problems. People, the competition and stuff too many times. It's just very negative, I feel, and I think there could be more camaraderie. But I don't know if you know what the scorched earth thing is, but basically like when you go and conquer, like in war, when you conquer society. If you really want to stick it to them, you're not happy with just, we conquered you, we're going to salt your ground, we're going to burn everything, so you've got nothing left, and that's just what it is. It's like people can't be happy with hey, I've got the haunted house, I'm the leader in the business, I got the most customers, they got to do, they don't want anything that sort of challenges their person, and I just see that too much, and I see. Some of the people that work for other attractions, it becomes, so competitive at that level, and I just don't enjoy that. I'm a go along to get along kind of person, and I'm happy to share anything I have with other people. I'm just that kind of a person. I'd rather have the camaraderie and like, okay, we're in business together, but we can be friendly, we can be, work together, and I just don't see that a lot.
Yeah. Another really cool one. This is like a really neat facade of like a creepy cabin in the woods. See like this tree with a bunch of creepy stuff hanging from it. Got this weird looking pumpkin dude. This is another really detailed section of the haunt. Even this really nice looking is it grandfather clock or whatever? I guess so. Wheelchair. Good little kitchen scene. So there's a lot of stuff in here. Little bloody bags. And then of course there may what thing? I don't know.
Little plant thing.
Oh no, I didn't. Wow, that's a cool thing to just kind of be sitting up there. Because God, I don't even notice that the light's on. Look at that thing. It reminds me kind of like the Gremlins when they transform a little bit.
A little bit. I thought it looked like.
Well, I guess that is a Gremlin, yeah.
Yeah, like the Salacious Grim that sits next to Jabba.
Just random books sitting here. Yeah, and then you got your shower, which may or may not have someone actually in it when you come through. Oh. Instead of a basket of fruit, you have a basket of ears and pig hooves.
Yeah, like you do.
I really like pigs here. I love pig things.
Yeah.
Whatever on earth this is, it kind of looks like maybe a baby pig was ate and vomited back out on this dresser.
Cool.
That's gross. Oh my. See, and these are the kind of things too. It's kind of you'd be walking through and you're supposed to go that way, but you'll see something like this out of the corner of your eye, and it's just not to distract you. So a real person might be able to scare you at that point, or it might even, if you're me, it might startle you just because you saw it out of the corner of your eye. Kind of weave through these really cool shelves. Actually, I don't know, they're very witchy. It's hard to get a great shot of it because of how tight this hallway is, but I like that they use that to kind of give a little texture to the hallway, a little bit back and forth. Then you have your it's a laughing sow, right?
Yeah.
You got one of these. All it wants is a hug. Now we're kind of slowly transitioning into, I think, the circus area. So you got some old sideshow posters here on the wall. Again, this is kind of more of a claustrophobic haunt, so some of it's kind of hard to get real good shots of. It's old carousel horse. You have all these clown heads. And of course, they'll be all, when you're actually walking through here, people will be playing with these sometimes and whatnot. Usually this section of the haunt gets really intense. I feel like we're always getting bombarded with actors. And then when you come through here, you get a big old puppet scare coming right at you to give you another hug. And then after you're done giving hugs, you can come over right on the other side of the kissing booth and give him a nice little peck on the lips. Another clown. These clowns really have a hard time keeping their intestines inside.
Right.
I don't know what's going on there, but I just see just hair.
Oh, jeez.
And then this would normally be a vortex tunnel, which again, they are usually insanely intense in this thing and really freak you out when you come through this vortex tunnel, which I like. So here we are at the chainsaw room, which is one of the gorier rooms here. There's your chainsaw. Fridge with some fresh meat inside. This guy who's probably had better days. Another little piggy. The eyes on this one really creep me out. And then, oh my. This guy. What I really like, if you look it's just the front of his head's dissolved, but then the back is kind of not, because his hair is still there and it gets thicker in the back. It's really disgusting.
Yeah, it's pretty.
It's his body's been eaten away by acid or something. There. Oh, we got some body parts just kind of hanging.
This is my favorite scene, which is the chainsaw scene, because this is the very first scene that I started out when I came to Ghoul Brothers. And let's just say I like chainsaws and axes and like not the fake ones. I'm talking real. Like when I'm outside and the axe that you see is real. It's not. Yeah. So it's legit. So, but yeah, this is my favorite scene. I just love the blood and gore and the chainsaw. Yeah, baby, yeah. So yeah, kind of what.
You also like subs?
Oh yeah.
Oh my gosh.
I like subs. And you see this shirt? This is actually my mother. She passed away, and I made her a part of the haunt.
It's the best shirt we have.
Best shirt we got.
Oh, that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's neat. Oh, she was in her head. There's some baby dolls. They wanted to watch the show, I guess. Oh, and they even have some little face masks. Ones kind of look like the one that we used for our one movie. These face masks do. Little chainsaw hanging there. Well, not little, like full size. Oh, more pigs. They just love pigs. And then that brings you to the end, where you would take a right here and then get chased out into the parking lot by one or multiple people.
I'm more interested in being behind the scenes kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
So for me, I'd rather allow other people to shine. And the comment I had made earlier about the ego thing is I feel I'm very non-ego in that aspect. I had the good fortune of being able to go to Hollywood and work on major Hollywood movies. So I've kind of been at the pinnacle of creativity, as good as it gets, really, at that level. So I think because of that, coming back and operating this, I'm comfortable with who I am and what I am. I want the haunted house to reflect itself. I mean, ultimately it's me, but that's not what I'm going for, And I'm happy to let other people shine. I'm not the guy that wants to be in front of the camera with the attention, and that's fine. There's other people who are better suited for that. But I believe in letting people do what they're good at, And it's like I have my opinions. I'm very opinionated. I want things to be safe and to be done right, but I try to give people the latitude to do their thing, and from top to bottom. And, really it's like I feel I build an amazing haunted house, but without the people that are like Matt, who's helping to run it. We have other people that aren't here tonight that aren't being represented, but there's other people that have invested a lot of time and effort and energy over the years and support to me, who this wouldn't be without. And without actors who share your vision and want to get involved, and it's just a big building of kind of cool looking stuff. Right. So ultimately it comes down to the people that we bring in, the people that come and be part of it and play with us here at the haunted house, and that makes it work. So.
And I absolutely agree with you, but at the same time, as someone who's known him for a while, he does need to get a little bit of his ego out there and tell you this. Your viewers know we won Haunt of the Year. We usually are always in top contention for Haunt of the Year with you guys. The reason we are that is because of this man and his brain. He knows what he's doing. We are top notch here every year.
Absolutely.
And there's a reason why that is that way, and it is because of him.
All right, everybody, welcome back to The Dungeon. Hopefully you enjoyed that episode of Haunt Behind the Scare. I know we definitely enjoyed getting to go there.
Yeah, it was awesome. That place is just fantastic.
Yeah, exactly. And even though their sets and props are really awesome, nothing is better there than just the actors.
Yes.
You really, the video for this place is probably, I would say, out of all the haunts we've been to, this one does this place justice the least because of how actor focused it is. Yes. And kind of like older school. You absolutely have to go and experience it for yourself, but I felt like there was a lot of heart with these people as well. You can really tell how passionate they are, and most haunters are passionate, but these people have been in it for the majority of their lives.
Yeah, at least I think one of them is at least 30 years, maybe more.
Yeah.
At least. So, I mean, that's a really long time to be in the haunt industry. And to just be just as passionate as you were day one is just fantastic.
Yeah, absolutely. But, again, hopefully you enjoyed this episode. There's still more to come. As you're watching this, I believe the next episode is going to be Wells Township. It should be, yeah. Wells Township Haunted House. So if you're watching this in the future, it's probably already online. Like I said, there's a 6-part series, so make sure you're liking and commenting, subscribing, and of course, ringing the notification bell so you don't miss any upcoming videos, including the rest of this series and, of course, our reviews that we do every year. This will be our 10th year, so thank you very much for watching. We'll see you in the next one.
Bye.